What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt Abel with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Abel Sanchez. Get this. Abel Sanchez states that Andy Ruiz Jr. will end up flat on his back from a brutal Deontay Wilder KO if the pair fought, says ex-trainer Abel Sanchez. Abel Sanchez outlined how Anthony Joshua's old nemesis cannot expect the easy night that the Brit gave him should he face an elite fighter again. Ruiz Jr., 31, dramatically downed AJ in New York 2 years ago before piling on the pounds and losing the rematch. It has been rumored that he will step in to face Wilder, 35, after Tyson Fury's positive corona test delayed their WBC bout. But Sanchez, who trained the ex-champ for a number of years, foresees only one outcome if the fight goes ahead. And this is what he had to say. He says he doesn't want to fight Wilder. He'll be flat on his back and will be hurt. And Tyson Fury is a special talent. Andy Ruiz is not. Ooh. Wilder can do the same thing Chris Arreola did, dropping Ruiz, but it would be 10 times harder, and he will be sleeping. Ruiz Jr. has already distanced himself from fighting Wilder, having only fought once this year, or once in the past 18 months. A points victory over Chris Arreola in May marked his return after the Joshua matchup. Although he was knocked down in the second round, Eddie Reynoso is now training the heavyweight, and Sanchez stated that his hope that the coach can steer Ruiz Jr. in the right direction outside the gym as well as inside. The 72-year-old noted, he said, "I hope he's going to continue the discipline with Eddie. If Eddie can't get it out of him, I think he'll make him a better fighter. Right now, he's still marginal. In today's boxing and in athletics, whether it's football, baseball, or boxing, you can't train for 2 months and then take 2 months off and go party, get fat, and go back and do it again. That's been his MO, and that just cannot be. He's got to get right back in the gym, just like Canelo does. Every time you see Canelo fight, he's right back into the gym next week. That's the modern athlete. That's what the athletes have to do. If Andy Ruiz chooses not to do that, then it's going to be the same Andy all the time. No improvement, no further development. He's not that hard to hit, and he wasn't hard to hit in my gym. He's got fast hands and great skills. Those two things are not going to make you a world champion again. He's caught Joshua on an off night, and he had the best night that he could ever have, and he became champion. I hope that he doesn't expect it to be that easy again." Those are the words of Abel Sanchez. Let me counterpunch. This is a good read because Abel Sanchez trained Andy Ruiz, and he pretty much cracked it wide open after Andy gave Manny Robles the shaft, okay? A lot of people looked and questioned Andy Ruiz for doing that, and it wasn't Manny's fault. And I think because of that, that brought other trainers forth, and they gave their assessment on Andy Ruiz. And Abel's was very interesting. He said that Andy Ruiz is the type of dude, he lacks motivation. He would find ways not to do things. He said that, hey, I didn't want to do this today. I didn't want to do that today. You know, he would show up late. It was a lot of things that that Andy Ruiz was doing, according to Abel Sanchez. Now, I do agree with Abel Sanchez on this. If he would have fought Deontay Wilder that day and got hit with that right, he probably would have been on his back. Because that's Chris Arreola now. I mean, a 40-year-old Chris Arreola, mind you. And he caught Ruiz, and Ruiz went down. And he almost went down the second time, okay, in the third round. But he went down. He took a knee like Kaepernick, okay? This guy got hit hard. And if Wilder, knowing he throws the right hand and he aims it towards the side of your head too, like he hit Fury and knocked him out 3 or 4 seconds, right? If he hit Ruiz like that, knowing that we didn't know the resistance Ruiz had, yeah, he would have knocked him out. I do agree with that. But see, here's the thing. I've always thought that Wilder would have beat Ruiz. See, Ruiz you have to come inside the waters or the red zone for Ruiz for him to be effective. Okay, if you don't, he won't cut off the ring. Okay, now if you mix it up with him, there's a chance of him getting you because he's a hooker and he throws wide hooks. But if someone like Wilder, like I've always said, Wilder's a guy that's going to fight tall. He's not going to crouch down. He's not going to try to throw combinations at you. He's not going to do all that. He's going to land that one right hand. He's going to omit all that other shit. He's going to start with that jab, just to throw that left out there, either to throw it out there to see where your head's going to be and deliver that right hand. Okay, and if he hits Andy Ruiz like it, Ruiz would have been out. You know what I mean? And Wilder would have looked like a god. Why? Because the guy that took Joshua out, then he knocked the guy that took Joshua out. And you take him out. You're the guy that beats the guy at that point, at that time. So it would be a very impressive win for Wilder. But Andy Ruiz, I think he lost some resistance because he did lose so much weight. I think he had a bigger or a better center of gravity, a better platform, a better foundation because he was bigger. Now, I think the catch-22 was when he lost that weight, the resistance left him. So I think he can't take the punches that he used to because he doesn't have the mass, you know, because I've seen the left hook he took from Joshua. That was one of the hardest left hooks I've ever seen anybody take. That should have knocked him out. But then again, you can hit someone on the side of their head and do more damage, like Ruiz now, like Anthony Joshua, versus can get caught directly on the chin, and you can take that pretty well like he did. You know, so I think that's one of those things too. So I think weight on top of where that punch actually landed for Chris Arreola to Ruiz to drop him, you know, but I do agree with Abel Sanchez that he definitely would have been out and on his back if Wilder would have hit him like Chris Arreola did. But it just lets you know that styles make fights, and people give you a perception of having this aura of invincibility, and this is the heavyweight division. And I'm glad that pragmatic reality and us seeing Chris Arreola do that gives you a mindset of, oh shit, this what could have happened with somebody else in there. That's exactly what Abel Sanchez is talking about, on top of training him himself. And I think Abel Sanchez is a no-nonsense type of fighter, and he knows what a person's habits are. And Andy Ruiz has had some habits in the past of being mediocre or lazy. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Abel Sanchez saying that Deontay Wilder would have knocked out Andy Ruiz had he been replaced with Tyson Fury. Tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.